Morning everybody from sunny South Wales. Last night as I watched the news, which majors mostly on the coronavirus outbreak, it told us that we had the highest number of mortalities that we've had since the beginning of March. And they told us some chilling statistics that in the next few days that number is going to double. So by Saturday the number of deaths per day may be 1,000 plus. And it made me think on the temporary nature of life. And I want us this morning to reflect on our mortality so that we might refocus on the hope that we have in Jesus. The Bible talks about life as fragile and fleeting. It's a short story. We are a vapor that appears, or a mist that appears for a short time and then vanishes. We are like grass that is here one day and gone the next. Listen to what James says. He says, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and get gain, whereas you do not know about tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes." This morning I was thinking of all those who have lost loved ones at this time, and my heart goes out to them. Those who have not been able to be with their loved ones as they passed from life into death. And as I said, reflecting on our mortality refocuses hope where it belongs. Abraham said in the book of Hebrews that he looked forward to a city that had foundations, whose builder and maker is God. The 17th century Anglican bishop Jeremy Taylor wrote this in rather 16th century language: "Since we stay not here, being people but of a day's abode, we must look somewhere else for an abiding city, a place in another country, to fix our house in, whose walls and foundation is God, where we must find rest, else we be restless forever." And so, we need to think about our own mortality today. One man was sitting in a doctor's surgery one day, and surrounded by all the advice that doctor's surgeries give us, he found this phrase: "The first 2 minutes of life are most critical," and some joker had written, "The last two are pretty dicey as well." And so, we need to think about the temporary nature of life. On many tombstones, between the opening and closing of our lives, there's a hyphen, a dash. And that's all we are. We're just a little dash. Perhaps you've heard this story before, and I've told it. It's about a florist who mixed up two orders one day. One arrangement went to a new business that was opening, and the other to a family who had had a death. The man with the new business came in quite irate. He said, "The flowers that got delivered to me said rest in peace." The florist said, "You think you're upset. You should have seen the people who just left. The bouquet that was delivered to their family was, 'Good luck in your new location.'" You see, for the Christian, death is simply a change of address. Death points itself to eternity. A Christian art form that flourished in the 16th and 17th centuries featured paintings of common objects of beauty: a vase of flowers, a mandolin, a sideboard with fruit on it. Tucked away in that painting somewhere would be two reminders of the passing nature of human existence: a skull and an hourglass. Now, these paintings were called vanitas art, from a passage in Ecclesiastes which says, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. One generation passes away and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever." Those paintings weren't intended to foster gloom. They were a reminder that every possession and achievement was passing away, and therefore not worthy of our hearts and devotion. They were to prepare us for the fact that we all come to that point. Do you know, there's a wonderful psalm, Psalm 90. It says, "The years of our life are but 70, or perhaps by reason of strength 80. And then it says, teach us to number our days, so that we might get a heart of wisdom." One translation says, "Teach us to number our days, so that we might discover what life is all about." You might remember a song from the 60s by Cilla Black. It said, "What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live?" Now, obviously, from what I've been saying this morning, it's not just for the moment we live. We are creatures of eternity. God has put eternity into our heart, we are told. So we need to remember today, in the sadness, that we can reach out to God and we can discover that God offers us hope in this hopelessness. There is light in this darkness. So as we consider our mortality today and how we are temporary residents here, I just ask that we would reflect on it and put our hope in Christ. As I said at the beginning, reflecting on our mortality refocuses hope where it belongs. So hope springs eternal, we say. There is hope in Christ. So this morning, as we begin our day, or in other parts of the world where you're listening, where your day has already gone, I pray that in the days ahead we might focus on our mortality and refocus on the hope that's in Jesus. May the Lord bless you today. Lord, I just pray for everybody who's listening to this podcast today, in whatever part of the world. We just pray that in the darkness of this moment, they would find hope in you. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.